Are you writing your first ever resume to get into tech? If so, this video is for you. Hey guys, I'm Faiz, and in this video I'm going to walk you through the process of writing your first ever tech resume. I'm going to teach you how to organize your resume. You'll learn how to list your skills, education, experiences, and projects in your resume. And by the end of this video, you'll have a resume that will help you land your next job. So let's get started. To start, I want you to grab your computer and fire up Google Docs. And to begin, open a new document and set the margins to be 0.5 inches on all sides. We'll keep formatting as we go. A tech resume usually has 5 main sections: your contact information, the summary statement, education, experiences, and skills. For some jobs, like cybersecurity roles, you may even add a certification section. Next, write your full name at the top. Here we're assuming our candidate's name is Ali Muhammad. And in the very next line, you will include your contact information, which includes your phone number, your email, your location, and you can also add a link to your GitHub and or LinkedIn profile. If you're looking for your first job, then having a link to your GitHub or a personal website can really make you stand out. These links are not required but can be helpful. Typically, the next item on your resume should be your summary statement. Whether or not you require it really depends on the amount of experience you have. If you have enough experience, you can highlight it here, but if you do not, then you can use this space to give the recruiter a short summary of your profile. So let's just fill that in. Let's say Ali is an Android engineer with an affinity to build pixel perfect applications. And let's do some quick formatting. After your summary, the next section can either be education or experience. You should begin with whatever you think is most impressive. If you have less experience but have a degree from a top school, then you should begin with that. For this video, let's say Ali graduated from Northeastern Illinois University with a bachelor's in computer science in 2022. If you graduated or are a student, mention relevant courses under each degree or course. So let's do that right now. Relevant coursework, data structures, algorithms, object-oriented design, computer networks, design of database systems, and you get the idea. Okay, so now some of you may be wondering, what if I know how to get the job done, but I do not have a traditional CS degree? And this is completely fine. If you are in this situation, enroll in a free online course or a paid bootcamp. This will make your profile more credible. I'll place links to some of them in the description. So let's add one such course along with the projects completed during the course to Ali's resume. Ali did an Android development bootcamp in the month of March in the year 2023 from raywunderlich.com, and this was online. And some of the projects that Ali completed here, let's say, was a scientific calculator app and a modern weather app. This gives us an opportunity to talk about them if the interviewer asks us. So we should be really careful what we put here. We should be able to talk about this when we are asked to. All right, let's move on to the experience section. By the time you finish college, in an ideal situation, you should already have done an internship. But situations are not always ideal. And this is where a lot of candidates face this frustrating barrier called no experience, no job, no job, no experience. About 5 years ago, I had the same issue, and that's when I learned that computer science is one such field where you do not need to have a full-time job to show your experience. You can do things like contributing to an open source code base, or you can do volunteer work, or you can do academic projects, you can do personal projects, or you could do some freelance work and make money at the same time. This topic is long enough to have a video of its own. So if you're really interested in this topic, just let me know and we will try to make it happen. Back to Ali. For the sake of this video and to see how to list everything, let's assume Ali has a mix of internship experience, freelance experience, academic projects, and personal projects. So let's fill that section in right now. Here you should start with your most recent experience and you should work your way back. When you do this, we need to focus on accomplishments and the impacts you made in each role. You can use the framework achieved X by doing Y, resulting in Z. So Ali first did an internship in Acme Corporation, where, as you can see, we are following the framework, mentioning that Ali improved a web application written in Python and Django by adding unit tests. So this is what Ali did. And by adding unit tests, that increased the reliability of the application and increasing customer satisfaction. So those are the results. So we don't need to have bullet points. We can just do shift and return, and then we can do that. So we don't have to worry too much about formatting. And then Ali gained experience in agile development methodologies while working with a broader team. So these words might sound scary, but in reality, you're just telling something very simple in a much more sophisticated way, so it looks more professional. And then the third point Ali mentions is that Ali assisted in troubleshooting and debugging code issues and actively participated in code reviews and continuous integration processes. Afterwards, Ali became a freelancer and made websites for nearby local businesses. So let's list that here. Ali was a freelance web developer in the year 2020, from the year 2022, and still does some freelance work. So 2022 to present, and we can just mention self-employed in the place of the company name. And for this, we can mention, again, following the achieved X by doing Y, which resulted in Z framework, where Ali mentions that he developed and launched websites for local businesses and implemented SEO techniques, that is search engine optimization techniques, to increase website traffic and conversion for clients. And then we can also mention that Ali continuously monitored and improved website security, implementing security best practices and regular updates to protect against vulnerabilities. Regarding projects, you do not have to mention that you did it for a course unless it makes you look good. Generally, companies prefer individual projects because it shows that you have the ability to take initiative. In the case of Ali completed an impressive project during his bachelor's coursework. He also completed another couple of projects in his free times that he is proud of. So let's list them here. You could create a new section. This is a subsection. Technically, you can call it relevant projects. And let's list his project. The first one, which is a Learn It mobile app, which he did in December of 2022. We'll write a one-line description of what that was. We'll mention that this was done for the course Android app development. I'm just mentioning the course here so that you have an idea of how to list things in all the different scenarios that you may have. So let's say developed a mobile app using Android Studio with interactive quizzes and coding tutorials to create a fun and engaging learning experience for students. So here also we're roughly following the same framework, achieved X by doing Y, resulting in Z. So we achieved, we developed a mobile app using Android Studio, and then we resulted in a good learning experience for the students. And then the personal projects that Ali did was firstly a game, which he did a few months before the first project, a space adventure game. This was done a few months before the other projects, and then we just developed a fully functional playable game using Unity engine. So here it's important to mention the technologies that you used and what you learned. And he did it implementing a variety of game mechanics and animations. And then the third and the last project that Ali mentions here is a recipe finder app, which he did on the Android platform. And just like the other two projects, we mentioned a one-line explanation, implemented a user-friendly interface with intuitive navigation, allowing users to save their favorite recipes and create shopping lists from selected recipes for an enhanced cooking experience. This line is a little long, but it gives you a gist of what the app has, and it gives you an opportunity to talk more about this application when asked in an interview. With that out of the way, let's move on to the final section of your resume, that is skills. This section is tiny but can have a huge impact on your resume, as it can increase your chances that your resume passes through the ATS. So what is ATS? ATS stands for Applicant Tracking System. These are software programs which companies use to automate their hiring. One of the jobs of the ATS is to scan the resume for relevant keywords for the job opening, and sometimes even reject resumes before it even reaches a human being. Although this might sound really scary, you can easily pass the ATS by including relevant keywords throughout your resume, and the skills section gives us another opportunity to do just that. So let's list out all the skills that Ali has to offer. Let's write the section name, skills, bold it out, and starting with the languages that Ali is proficient in, say Kotlin, used in Android, Swift used in iOS, Python that he used earlier, and then you have JavaScript, again for web development, you have Django, you have React, you have some tools like Android Studio, you have Xcode, you have the multi-platform language Flutter, AWS for cloud, you have the Git source control, and you have MongoDB and Agile methodologies. You could just mention Agile. Finally, we can format all the text that we typed in to make it feel polished. Let's make things bold, align the dates properly, make sure everything looks good and aligned and filled. If you still have some more space, then consider adding a few more lines to your experience or describing your projects in a more detailed manner. Your resume generally should not have empty spaces. And having said that, I think this looks pretty good. Once you have completed the process of writing this resume, it is very crucial that you go back and look for grammatical errors or formatting inconsistencies or any missing information that you should put in your resume. And finally, you print it out and hand it over to a friend or a mentor and ask them to have a look at it. A fresh set of eyes can often catch those things that we might have missed. Congratulations. So if you have followed through the video, doing it yourself, by now you should have a resume that you can use to apply for jobs. Remember, your resume is important. It showcases your skills and experiences to potential employers. And often, this is the only information an employer has about you to make a decision whether to move you forward through the process. So make sure you take some time to make it stand out. That being said, if you found this video useful, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to check the description below for more resources. And until next time, peace.